Hi, my name is Thomas Wang, and this is my second LifeLog, which is just a fancy name for saying journal. And the main focus of today's one is to talk about my educational aspects of like my school experience, mainly my grades. And I'm just gonna say that my grades have kind of fallen off, and it's not as bad as it sounds, but mainly they're not as good as they used to be last year in middle school. And this is high school where grades are more important than they are in middle school. In fact, I don't think they even matter at all in middle school. And now they're part of your GPA, I'm pretty sure. So, that's all important for college and all that crap. So I should probably actually start trying. But the main thing is, last year, I've talked about like how in this year, new ninth grade freshman, blah, 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 I'm trying to change. Because last year, I was kind of a bit of a quiet guy. I didn't really talk much. People called me depressed. In reality, I just had a lot of thoughts in my brain. But then my dad told me that I can't just have thoughts because it's just dumb. Because if I don't act on it, then I have nothing to show for it. So I'm just thinking in my head and just being kind of cut off from society. So, I took that. I took that advice and I'm trying to change a bit. You can't just all be thinking. You have to act a bit, think a bit, that type of thing. Last year, my standards were pretty high for my grades. I'm pretty sure with nothing else to focus on, I sent everything into grades. And my goal was all A pluses. Never once did I achieve this goal in any of the 4 quarters. But I did get majority A pluses. But I did also get a B. That was because in PE I was depressed. So, you don't try in PE when you're depressed. So that's how you get a B. Honestly, I thought I'd get so much worse in that class because I really did not participate at all. But anyways, I actually did get solid grades that year in the classes that matter, like core classes. Yeah, I got like A pluses in every quarter. There was always one core subject that I didn't have an A plus on, and it would switch every quarter. So I think I was pretty solid overall in all 4. Math was my best one. I don't know if that's racist or not, but I had a 99 in math every quarter, and it kind of annoyed me that it wasn't in 100 because that would have been so cool. But like, I was so good at that class, and I think it was especially because my brothers went to college, and I got really scared that I'd fail math because beforehand, if I didn't know how to do my math, I just asked my brothers. But when they're gone, I really got scared, so I started putting in some effort and, got 99s. It's really not that hard once you put some effort into it. But main point, I talked about how my grades now are not as good. And what I mean by that is they're lower than before. And I'm not saying that much lower. I know everyone has their own standards. So, like, some people think this is high. Some people, everyone has their own standards. Some people can live with all D's because it's considered a pass. But there is a stereotype for Asian people that Asians need A's. And I can confirm the stereotype. It's not exactly like, it's just natural at this point. Like, even if my parents didn't want me to get A's, it's just naturally what I go for because A's honestly seems easy, and it's also the more satisfying thing to look at when you got all A's. It's just like, yeah, you're doing good. But it's not like super important. Last year I over prioritized that to get all A pluses. A's are good, and I currently have all A's, I think. But I'm on the verge of a few B's, and I think it's definitely because of my change this year. I'm having a lot more fun this year, like I said. I'm really being a lot dumber, having more fun, not being quiet. It's more fun, obviously, but, it has its setbacks, including the grade issue. Mainly, I'm not really getting as much knowledge in the classes. I'm still listening, of course, not really as much, though. But I'm still getting the information, I'm learning, and then I go to the quiz or the main assessment, and I'm not focused, so I kind of, like, I lose a few points on some finer details. But now, especially today, I just took a biology quiz, and she did say that they're difficult and all that crap, and I didn't believe her, obviously, because, it's school, and school is pretty easy overall, especially if you just put in minimal effort. But it's not like I failed or anything, but I didn't get an 100, and, that's always a bummer sometimes. That's kind of just a habit from last year, though. I'd always expect an 100, and if I didn't, I got even more depressed. But I didn't get an 100 on this quiz. Neither did a lot of people. In the total of every single person that took that quiz, there were 4 100s. She was proud of our class, though, because we got 3 of those 4 100s. So that's pretty interesting. And I wasn't really particularly happy with my grades on this quiz because I got like 3 wrong out of 24 questions, and somehow there were 32 points on those 24 questions. I don't know how that works, but I thought I got a B because if you do the math, 21 divided by 22, 21, no, I'm doing this wrong. No, I'm not. 21 divided by 24 is an 80%, around in that range. But apparently there's 32 points in those 24 questions, so somehow I got an A, and I was not particularly happy with this grade. But then Toby informed me that a bunch of other people got B's, and in fact the average grade in the class was a B. So that made me feel a little better, but I'm still kind of triggered on that one. I also don't like comparing anymore. There are some times that my parents say these like wise words. Most of the time I ignore them, but sometimes I do hear them, and it does kind of change the way I approach a situation. And my mom always said comparison is absolute crap. Not exactly how she said it, but essentially she said when you compare, there's 2 possibilities. You either think you're way better and you get really big ego, or you think you suck and you get really depressed. And that is pretty true overall. When you compare yourself to someone, you're going to think you're better, you're going to act really arrogantly over-dominant or something, or you will see that you are awful and get really not a good feeling. So, comparison is avoided by me, but it obviously still comes into play because it's only human nature that you compare. But overall, my grades, not as good as before. I'm on A-, verge of B's at this point, but I think I'm going to try to put in more focus. Honestly, something about me, I feel like I've changed. I feel like I can't focus much in class anymore. Like, even when I just listen to stuff, I hear it, and then like a few minutes later, it just starts becoming noise, and then I just can't understand it. I feel like I'm like becoming dyslexic and ADHD and all that crap. But it's interesting. It's an interesting experience. Overall, I'm having more fun in the year though, so that's all that really matters to me. The whole college GPA crap, the more I think about college, the more I think like I just don't really care as much. I mean, honestly, for college, I'm just gonna go for like something that works. Like, the thought of college didn't really occur to me much, but college is whatever. I get into whatever, and when I learned that you can get into college with all D's, I'm just like, why would you go all the way? Never mind. I'm really making lower expectations. I want good college, but like at the same time, people say high school is the time you're supposed to have fun, and I'm really embracing that saying and that idea and all that good stuff. So I'm just trying to have more fun this year. I've said this before, but like, just trying to be dumb and still get stuff done, not be annoying, not be a huge annoyance to the teacher or pest or something. But yeah, among other things, jazz band. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about jazz band. Jazz band is another band. You just arrive at school earlier. That's interesting. Marching band, we're working on the last movement just to finish up our show because we didn't finish it before. And then our first competition is like next week, and we're gonna get like judged by professional people, which is a scary thought. And then everything else. There's homecoming next week, which is essentially a dance or some crap. I don't actually pay attention anymore. I made a big deal last year about not paying attention to gossip, but apparently that's just a high school language. Gossip, following all the who likes who, do you like a girl, are you dating a girl, that type of thing, or just false rumors, all that good stuff. I was at a lunch table today, and the whole time they talked about what girl do you like, or who are you dating, who are you texting, and I'm so over that garbage. It's just, oh my god, it annoys me. But that's just how it is in high school, everyone just talks about that stuff, and that who are you dating, all that. I walked past the hallway, and there were 2 people making out, and at first, that just surprised me. I thought that was only in movies, but like, that's a real thing. You see that. Among other things, there's also been rumors of other random crap. Oh yeah, I've seen people vape in school. I don't know if I'm supposed to report that, but stitches get stitches. I hate that saying, but like, I'm still too lazy to report them anyway. They pass it around like a friggin' ritual. They're like, hey, I got my smoke, you next. I'm just like, bro, these guys are stupid. But anyways, my high school experience is overall a pretty fun experience. But my main goals for the coming weeks, as I actually get into school, it's not a new experience, I'm actually getting used to it. I definitely need to kick in the gears for the learning aspect, because too much fun can sometimes be a negative thing. So yeah, I'm gonna work on, putting more effort into my learning.